Namaste. Welcome to number 3 in this series of Grace and Joy Yoga Studios virtual yoga classes. I'm glad you're with me today, and I'm glad that you decided to do your practice at home. And I hope that all is going well. I can't project into the future as to what's going on for me, but we're going to say that it's going well too. So we'll start as we normally do in a comfortable position, tall spine, hands resting on the thighs, either palms up or palms down, eyes gently closed or looking down at the mat, and just bringing your chin softly in towards your chest and beginning to connect with your in-breath and out-breath. Using this time as an opportunity to shift your attention from your life off of the mat to your yoga practice on the mat for the next hour, being in the moment and letting the marriage of body, mind, and breath come to your yoga practice. We'll bring hands to heart center to start our practice in Namaste. So we'll begin our yoga practice today by working on pranayama, or breath work. Today's pranayama will be Nadi Shodhana, which is alternate nostril breathing. This is a wonderful tool we've talked about before in the event that you have insomnia or if you need just a bit of calming. And for this, we will keep our left hand anchored on our thigh. Right hand, we will bring in our index finger and our middle finger. So we've got our thumb and our ring finger of our right hand ready to alternate back and forth. So we'll just begin by taking a normal in-breath and out-breath. Continuing to breathe in, breathe out. Gently resting the thumb on the right nostril. On your next inhale, blocking the right nostril with your thumb and inhaling through the left. Pausing for a moment, blocking the left nostril with your ring finger and exhaling through the right. Inhaling through the right. Exhaling through the left. Inhaling through the left. Exhaling through the right. Continuing this on for 7 more breath rounds. I'll keep track. So inhaling through the left, blocking the left, exhaling through the right. Inhaling through the right, blocking off the right and exhaling through the left. As you go back and forth, incorporating the 3-part breath, and perhaps closing your eyes to draw your attention inward. Three more breath rounds, inhaling through the right, through the left. Exhaling through the right. Inhaling through the right. Exhaling through the left. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And last round, inhaling through the left, exhaling through the right, inhaling through the right, and exhaling through the left. Returning to a natural breath, bringing your right hand down to your thigh and just taking a moment to notice the effects of that breath work on your body, not only physically, not only your physical body, but your energetic body. Noticing if perhaps you feel a lightness, perhaps there's a difference in the sensations that you feel. No right, no wrong, just everybody's different. So we'll now start our warm-up. Placing our hands on our knees, we'll inhale to rise our eyes up. And exhale to draw the eyes down to the ground. Inhaling, looking up. And exhaling, looking down. Next inhale, rolling the right ear to the right shoulder and exhaling chin to chest. Inhaling left ear to left shoulder and exhaling chin back down to chest. Inhaling to the right, exhaling down. Inhaling to the left and exhaling down, and just going back and forth a few more times, using your own breath, using your own pace, discovering that fluidity in the back of your neck. On our next inhale, we'll look up and forward. Reaching our arms out to the sides, we will inhale to draw our arms back, just gently squeezing the shoulder blades together. Exhaling, reaching forward, palms together, rounding the upper back, eyes down to the ground. Inhaling, eyes coming forward as we open up. And exhaling, reaching forward, rounding through the shoulders, fingers coming out at chest height. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling, right hand down by right hip, left fingers coming over. Inhaling up and exhaling down the fingers. Inhaling up the left or right hand, exhaling over. Inhaling up, exhaling to lower. Inhaling up and exhaling to lower. So I notice with lateral stretching that this is usually the time when everybody seems to speed up. They're in a hurry. So really matching your movement to your breath and not being in a hurry. You really have nowhere to go for the next hour. So taking your time, listening to your body, letting it unfold naturally, no forcing, no straining. Inhaling back up, exhaling that arm down. From here, we're coming to kneeling. So on kneeling, we're up on our knees. We'll inhale, arms up overhead, and exhale, slowly come down to child's pose. Inhale to slide the hands back as we rise up for hero, and exhale, letting the shoulders soften. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling forward. Inhaling and exhaling. One last time, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. From here, coming to all fours. And walking the hands a little bit further forward and the knees a little bit further back. Knees are hip distance apart. On an inhale, we're going to come forward, shoulders over wrists. On an exhale, we're pushing back, heels or hips to heels, looking in between our hands, stretching out the back. Inhaling to rise up and shift forward, strong through the back. Exhaling to reach back, pushing away. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and just coming back now to all fours. Knees under hips, hands under shoulders. We'll tuck the toes. We'll take an inhale. On the exhale, taking cat pose, rounding the spine. And then on the next inhale, we'll lift the tailbone up towards the ceiling, planting the feet, walking the hands towards the feet, and slowly rolling up. We'll inhale, arms up overhead, and exhale, hands down to heart center. So from here, a couple more standing warm-ups before we begin our sun salutations. Having our feet a little wider than hip distance apart, toes pointing forward. We're going to take some standing twists, and we'll go back and forth about 10 times on each side. So we'll start with our arms reaching out. So really feeling the breath along your fingertips, along your chest, and along your back body too, along your shoulders. We'll take an inhale at center. On an exhale, we're bringing our left hand to our chest as we gently open up to the right. We'll exhale back through center and inhale to the left. Exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling. Just going back and forth at your own pace. Letting your side bodies open up, gently opening up your hips. Really finding the rhythm of your breath and your body. Perhaps each time that you open up, you're opening up a little bit further. Two more times on each side. And last time over to the left. And lowering our hands down to heart center, down to mountain. I get so used to saying heart center. Okay, so our next little warm up again before we begin our sun salutations. I realize I'm monkeying around a lot with my sweater, so sorry about that. Is just a little bit of a to and fro with the spine. We're taking a small back bend and a bit of a forward fold. We'll do this 10 times. As we take our back bend, remembering to engage your glutes, the backs of your legs, and using your thighs to push forward, letting that bring the curvature to your lower back rather than torquing in your lower back to get that curve going. Just let your legs do the work. So we'll inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, engage the glutes, come to a little bit of a back bend. Inhale up and exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, exhaling to a back bend. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And again, just finding the rhythm of your body as you do this. Being mindful of all your parts, what's going on for you. Halfway there. As you come to your forward folds, just letting your shoulders relax and be heavy. Two more times, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. And last time, inhaling up and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling. Rising back up and bringing hands down to heart center. There we go, I was a little before my time. All right, so now stepping up to the front of the mat for sun salutations. Here we're taking the Bahar version of sun salutations. We'll do a couple of rounds. So on an inhale, we've got our back warmed up from the back bend. So we'll inhale up, taking a little bit of a back bend, exhaling to forward fold. Stepping back the right foot, dropping the right knee, inhaling the arms up, exhaling back, inhaling up, exhaling forward. Coming to down dog. From down dog, coming through to plank. From plank, dropping the knees, flattening the feet, coming to our 8-point salute, leading with our chin, butt up in the air, and then sliding the legs out, rolling up for cobra. Coming back down, tucking back up to downward dog. From downward dog, stepping the right foot through, dropping the left knee, inhaling up and back. Exhaling up and forward, coming to forward fold. Inhaling, arms up and back. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Taking the left side, inhaling up and back. Inhaling up and forward fold. Stepping back the left foot and dropping the left knee, inhaling up and back, up and forward, downward dog. Gliding to plank, dropping the knees, flattening the feet, coming to 8-point salute, and then sliding out the legs, dropping the hips, rolling up for cobra. Coming back down, rising up to down dog. Stepping the left foot through for high lunge, dropping the right knee, arms up and back, arms up and forward, forward fold. Reaching out, reaching up. Coming up, hands to heart center. So from here, we'll take one more round of the Bahar. Starting with the right. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. Left side, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, and exhaling. So now we're going to take downward dog for a bit of a rest for 10 breaths. So taking some time, getting into your downward dog. We'll inhale up and exhale down to forward fold, stepping back the right leg and then the left. And just getting established in your down dog, making sure your pelvis is tilting away from you. You're pushing away from the mat, your hands are wide, shoulders are soft. Breathing here. Perhaps you want to incorporate Ujjayi breath in your downward dog here. Bringing lots of oxygen to your muscles. After your 10th breath in downward dog, lowering with control to your knees and shifting back to child's pose. Breathing in here, sending lots of breath to your lower back, expanding your abdomen, stretching out the muscles in the lower back from the inside out, and gathering your energy. So our next set of postures comes from downward facing dog. So we'll rise back up to our down dog. We'll take an inhale in our down dog. On an exhale, we're going to bring our left knee up to our nose. Inhaling up to three-legged dog. Exhaling and inhaling up to three-legged dog. Exhaling knee to nose. Inhaling up. Exhaling knee to nose. Inhaling up. Last time, knee to nose. Inhaling up. Dropping back down to down dog. Lowering to the knees with control. And taking our child's pose. One more breath in child's pose and then rising up to down dog again. We'll take this flow on the other side. So getting established in your down dog. Taking an inhale and an exhale, left knee coming towards the nose and inhaling up to three-legged dog. Exhaling and inhaling. Exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, bringing the feet down to meet, lowering to the knees, and once again, taking our child's pose. And staying there for 5 breaths. After your child's pose, coming back up through all fours, rising up to our down dog, and taking high lunge, so stepping the right foot through for high lunge. So here in our high lunge, back is long. It's like we're on starter's blocks, ready for a race. Breathing here, making sure you've got a little bit of a micro bend in your back knee, up on the ball of your back foot. From high lunge, we're taking pyramid pose, so we'll plant that back foot, toes pointing forward. Front leg begins to straighten and our head sinks down towards our front knee. Staying here for 5 breaths. Rising up on the ball of the back foot, stepping back a little, coming back to our high lunge. And we'll just go back and forth now between the high lunge and the pyramid. So high lunge, planting the foot, coming to pyramid. Stepping back to high lunge, stepping up to pyramid. To high lunge, to pyramid. To high lunge, to pyramid, stepping back to down dog, and you guessed it, lowering to your knees, shifting back to child. In child, just feeling that wringing out of the muscles in the legs that are working very strongly through this sequence, letting everything go. being heavy and sunken and condensed into this little ball. Taking one more breath and rising back up through down dog, this time stepping the right foot through for, is that right? Nope, left foot. Taking your high lunge stance. High up on the ball of that back foot, pushing through the heel, back is long, gaze is down at the floor. Taking one more breath here. And then planting the back foot, toes pointing forward, front leg straightening out, lowering the forehead down toward the knee. And breathing here in our pyramid. Shoulders are heavy, making their way down to the mat. Everything's just draping forward. After your fifth breath, rising up, bending that front knee and rising back up to our high lunge. From high lunge, we're going to go back and forth between high lunge and pyramid. So planting the back foot, straightening the front leg. Coming to high lunge, up on the ball of the back foot, and then coming to pyramid. From high lunge to pyramid, high lunge to pyramid, high lunge to downward dog, and back to child. And here you might want to take a variety of child, either child with your arms by your sides, palms facing up, shoulders draping down, that sometimes feels good. Or a wide-legged child with your knees as wide as the mat, big toes touching at the back and sinking that body down into that space between. So taking one more breath in your child's pose and rising up to kneeling. And then swinging the right foot around, coming up for low lunge. We'll start with hands at heart center, just finding your balance, remembering to widen your base if you're feeling a little wobbly. We'll take a low lunge twist here, so we're going to take 5 breaths on each side. We'll start by taking our left elbow, twisting over, bringing elbow to our right thigh, eyes coming over to the right side. And breathing here, hands stacked, elbows stacked, shoulders stacked. Smiling and breathing. And then coming back to center, bringing the hands down, tucking the back toe coming up through high lunge, stepping our left foot forward and our right foot back as we drop our right knee down and rise up for low lunge on the other side. Wiggling our right elbow and twisting over to the left. Breathing deeply for 5 breaths, feeling that twist all the way from your waist up through to your shoulders. Palms pressing together. After our 5th breath, coming back through center. And we will come down through high lunge, step back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, lowering to the knees, and we'll just shift hips to heels for hero for just a moment. So our next series of 3 postures together We're going to go from child to plank to upward facing dog. We'll start first by doing 5 breaths for each particular posture. And then we'll just begin to sequence it where it's 1 breath per posture 5 times. So starting in your child's pose, getting yourself comfortable, taking whichever child you feel will serve you best. And staying here, settling in for 5 breaths. After the 5th breath, reaching your arms out in front, anchoring down your palms, and gliding out to plank. Staying here for 5 breaths. After your 5th breath, coming to upward dog, draping down the thighs and the hips, eyes up to the ceiling for 5 breaths. Shoulders are directly over the wrists. Arms are straight. Coming from upward facing dog back to child. To plank, to upward dog. 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 Last time. Child. To plank, to upward dog. And then back to child. Taking a few breaths in your child, stretching out your spine. Feeling the wave of breath go all the way along each rib cage like it's playing a xylophone. And after your 5th breath in child's pose, we're going to begin to get set up to take a bow pose. So for our bow pose, coming to our bellies. Arms by your sides, palms up, forehead on the mat, back of your neck long. Legs out behind you, hip distance apart. On an inhale, gathering your energy. On an exhale, flexing the feet, bringing the heels to the tush. On an inhale, peeling your forehead and shoulders up off the mat and holding on to the tops of your feet and rising up for your bow. Holding here for 5 breaths. Lowering down to the ground. Taking a pause, still holding your feet. Taking an inhale to gather your energy. On an exhale, once again, rising up to bow and holding for 5 breaths. After the 5th breath, lowering down, forehead to the mat, releasing the feet. Slowly with control, hands under the shoulders, rising up through kneeling to hero. And from hero, swinging our feet around to the front, legs out straight. So now we're working our way to our back. On your back, bringing your knees to your chest and just rocking back from side to side. And then we will keep the right knee at the chest, holding on with the right hand. Left hand can just be beside us, and we'll extend that left leg out along the floor. On an inhale, we'll open up our knee to the right, and exhale, come back to center. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And then we'll inhale and hold for 3 breaths. After your 3rd breath, exhaling back, knee over chest, reaching up with the left hand and drawing the knee across the body. Keeping the shoulders anchored on the floor. Your right foot can just nestle against your left thigh. And you can be looking over to your right. We'll inhale that knee back and gather in the left knee and extend out the right leg along the floor. Holding the left knee with the left hand, we'll inhale that leg out to the left, exhale back to center, inhale and exhale, inhale and exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and staying here for 3 breaths, trying to allow your abdomen to soften, letting that knee drop down toward the floor. After the 3rd breath, we'll exhale back to the chest, reaching up with the right hand and drawing that knee across the body over to the right. Shoulders anchored to the mat. This time you can look over to your left side. And then we'll bring that knee back to center. Once again, hugging both knees to our chest, we'll rise our toes up to the ceiling and exhale our legs down to the ground with control. Using our lower abs to slowly make our way down to the ground. Then we'll get ready for Shavasana. So in your Shavasana, you may want to put back on your socks. You may want to get a blanket to keep you warm. Just finding whatever you need to get yourself comfortable. Normal Shavasana is with our legs extended out, with our feet just gently falling away from each other. But you may find that if your lower back is troublesome, you may want to have your knees bent with your feet as wide as the mat, and just have your knees falling in towards each other. So no stress, they're just taking care of themselves. You're not holding them up, they're just falling in, resting against each other. So arms by your side, just taking a moment to feel the looseness in your neck and your shoulders. Eyes gently closed, and just like at the beginning of our class, bringing your awareness back to your breath. Inhaling and exhaling. With every inhale, feel your chest rising up toward the sky. With every exhale, feel the solidity of the ground beneath you. Breathing, as the Dalai Lama says, as you breathe in, cherish yourself. And as you breathe out, cherish all beings. Breathing in and out, settling into your posture, feeling your body melting into the mat, relaxing, finding that stillness in the posture where all you need to do is breathe, be. Breathe and be. No doing, no thinking, no planning. Just being in this state of conscious relaxation. So you'll notice that our Shavasana doesn't have music. So just being aware of the sounds around you, the sounds within the room, the sound of your breath, and the sounds outside the room as well, bringing an awareness to those. But I invite you to, rather than straining your ear to see what you can hear, just let the sound come to you. Maybe it comes from outside, maybe it doesn't. But just letting it come to you, come to meet you, without you having to reach out to find it. As you breathe in, cherish yourself. As you breathe out, cherish all beings. If your mind begins to drift off the mat in Shavasana, and it may well do when you're practicing at home, and there's lots of distractions, just acknowledging the thoughts that come up, not attaching any judgment, letting them float by, and returning your awareness back to the sound of your breath and the sounds in the room. Being in the moment. As you breathe in, cherish yourself. As you breathe out, cherish all beings. Taking one last deep breath in your Shavasana for today. And slowly coming out of your Shavasana, rolling your head gently back from side to side. Wiggling fingers and wiggling toes. When you're ready, bending your knees and planting your feet. And gently lowering knees to the right as your body begins to roll to the right as well. Taking a couple of breath rounds, just lying on your side, letting your circulation reestablish itself. And when you're ready, in your time, making your way back up to sitting. I'll end our class today on a quote by a gentleman by the name of John Wesley. Do all the good that you can, by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, as long as you ever can. Thank you for sharing your practice with me this morning, or this evening, or this afternoon. Namaste.